A farewell to a timeless legend, remembering Roberta Flack. The world of music has lost one of its most transcendent voices. Roberta Flack, the legendary songstress whose soul-stirring melodies and evocative storytelling shaped the soundscape of generations, has passed away at the age of 88. With a voice that was both tender and powerful, she gave the world timeless classics such as Killing Me Softly with his song, Feel Like Makin Love, and The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face. Each a masterpiece, each a testament to her artistry. Flack's passing was confirmed by her longtime publicist, Elaine Schock, who announced that the beloved artist died peacefully on the morning of February 24th, 2025, surrounded by those she loved. Her legacy, however, will echo forever. The statement described her as a boundary-breaking artist and a passionate educator whose influence reached far beyond the stage. For many, Roberta Flack was more than a musician. She was a cultural force, a pioneer whose genre-defying sound became the soundtrack of love, longing, and liberation. She effortlessly blended pop, R&B, folk, and jazz, crafting songs that transcended time and genre, resonating deeply with listeners across generations. Beyond the music, her unwavering commitment to social activism and education reflected a depth that set her apart. A life of music and meaning, born Roberta Cleopatra Flack on February 10, 1937, in Black Mountain, North Carolina, and raised in Arlington, Virginia, she was a prodigy from the start. A classically trained pianist, she attended Howard University at just 15 years old, becoming one of its youngest students. Her deep love for music led her to teach before her voice, a divine instrument of its own, took center stage. Her journey to stardom was serendipitous. Discovered while performing at a Washington, D.C. nightclub, Flack was soon signed to Atlantic Records, where she recorded her debut album, First Take. That album contained The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, a song that, thanks to Clint Eastwood featuring it in Play Misty for Me, catapulted her to international fame. The song's haunting beauty won her the Grammy for Record of the Year in 1973, the first of many accolades to come. Throughout the 1970s, she dominated the charts. Her collaborations with fellow Howard alum Donny Hathaway produced some of the era's most cherished duets, including Where Is the Love and The Closer I Get to You. Their musical chemistry was undeniable, but tragedy struck in 1979 when Hathaway died suddenly, leaving a void in Flack's life and career. Despite personal and professional hardships, Flack's influence never waned. In the 1990s, her music found new life when the Fugees' Grammy-winning cover of Killing Me Softly introduced her brilliance to a new generation. Over the course of her career, she earned 5 Grammy Awards and in 2020 received a Lifetime Achievement Grammy, with artists like John Legend and Ariana Grande paying tribute to her lasting impact. Even Beyoncé honored her in the Break My Soul, Queen's remix, placing Flack among the pantheon of Black female music icons. Beyond the stage, Flack's passion for music extended far beyond performance. She founded the Roberta Flack School of Music in New York, nurturing the next generation of musicians and ensuring that her love for the art would live on. She was also a vocal advocate for social justice, standing alongside figures like Reverend Jesse Jackson and Angela Davis. She even performed at the funeral of baseball legend Jackie Robinson, cementing her role not just in music, but in history. However, life's hardships took their toll. In recent years, Flack battled health issues, including a diagnosis of ALS, which robbed her of her ability to sing but never silenced her spirit. Even as her voice faded, her presence remained a guiding force in the world of music and activism, a legacy that will never fade. As the world bids farewell to this extraordinary artist, her music remains immortal, a reminder of her grace, her talent, and her indelible contributions to the world of song. Her words continue to guide us. No matter what challenge life presents, I am at home with my piano, on a stage with my band, in the studio, listening to music. I can find my way when I hear music. Rest in peace, Roberta Flack. Your voice will forever echo in the hearts of those who loved you. Roberta Flack sat alone by the window, staring into the distance as memories of her childhood flooded her mind. The deep sorrow that had followed her throughout life began in the small town where she was raised. Born into a family of modest means, Roberta often felt the weight of unspoken pain within the walls of her home. Her parents, though loving, struggled to make ends meet, and she learned early on that life was not always fair. The echo of hushed arguments late at night and the sight of her mother's weary face in the morning left a lasting imprint on her heart. Music was her only escape. As a child, she would sit by the old piano in the corner of their cramped living room, pressing the keys with small, trembling fingers. The melodies she created were filled with longing, a silent cry for comfort. But even as her talent blossomed, loneliness lingered. She often watched other children playing outside, laughing without a care in the world, while she remained indoors, wrapped in solitude. The burden of responsibility fell on her young shoulders, as she was expected to help care for her siblings while her parents worked tirelessly. Her father, once a man of strength and conviction, slowly became a shadow of himself, worn down by the relentless pressures of life. There were days when he barely spoke, his eyes distant, lost in thoughts that Roberta could never quite understand. She wished for his warmth, for moments where he would lift her into his arms and tell her everything would be okay. But those moments were rare, and the silence between them grew heavier with time. As she grew older, the weight of her emotions intensified. Love had always seemed like a fragile thing, something just out of reach. She had dreamed of a family of her own, of a husband who would cherish her, and children who would fill her home with laughter. But reality was far different from her dreams. Her marriage, once filled with promise, had become a place of quiet suffering. The man she had once adored became distant, their conversations reduced to polite exchanges, their love fading like a song forgotten in time. The loneliness she had known as a child returned, wrapping around her like an old, familiar cloak. And then came the illness, the cruel, unrelenting force that robbed her of her strength, leaving her vulnerable in ways she had never imagined. The voice that had once carried so much emotion, that had touched the hearts of millions, now wavered with weakness. It was an unbearable loss, one that she struggled to accept. The music that had always been her refuge now felt like a reminder of all that she could no longer do. She longed to sit at the piano and let the melodies flow from her fingertips, but even that had become a challenge. Nights were the hardest. The quiet darkness brought with it memories she could not escape. She thought of the little girl she had once been, full of dreams and hope. She wondered if that child would recognize the woman she had become. Tears slipped down her cheeks as she whispered into the night, asking the questions that had no answers. Would she ever feel whole again? Would the sorrow ever fade? Despite everything, a small part of her still clung to hope. She had lived through pain before and had found a way to rise from it. Maybe, just maybe, she would find a way once more. But for now, she allowed herself to grieve, to feel the weight of all that she had lost. And in that moment, she was simply Roberta, a woman, a daughter, a mother, a singer, carrying the deep, unshakable sorrow of a lifetime. Roberta Flack is more than just a legendary singer. She is a timeless voice of love, resilience, and deep emotion. Her music has touched millions, speaking to the soul with melodies that heal and lyrics that inspire. From the first time ever I saw your face to killing me. Softly with his song, her artistry transcends generations, reminding us of the power of music to connect hearts. Today, we honor Roberta Flack, not only for her extraordinary talent, but for the impact she has made on the world. She has been a beacon of grace, breaking barriers in the music industry, and paving the way for artists who followed. Her voice carries stories of love, loss, hope, and strength, reflecting the human experience in all its beauty. As we celebrate her legacy, let us show our love, admiration, and gratitude. Let us listen to her songs with open hearts, appreciating the emotions she poured into every note. Let us share her music with new generations, ensuring that her influence lives on. And most importantly, let us embody the kindness, empathy, and passion she has always expressed through her work. Roberta Flack deserves to be cherished and uplifted. In a world that can often feel divided, her music reminds us of our shared humanity. May we continue to honor her, not just as a brilliant artist, but as a symbol of love and unity.